Hey guys, Ron here. A/B split testing for conversion optimization. I run constantly A/B split tests pretty much every day, and I've been doing it for as long as I can remember. The reason is the data that I get from it is just, the insights is just so invaluable. It's hard to even put a price on it, because time is your scarcity. It's not the money, the time is the scarcity. I watched a movie yesterday while I was on the computer putting up ads. The Lucy movie. If you haven't seen the Lucy movie, where it talks about her going from 10% of her brain capacity to 100% of her brain capacity. And he talks in that movie, Morgan Freeman talks about how the time is the scarcity. Humans are always trying to gain more time. So what A/B split tests do is it helps us know where to focus our time. So just an example of some ones that I did in the last few days. I'm changing price points constantly on some real estate ads because I want to see, it isn't just what gets the most calls, it's what gets the best quality of type of call that we're looking for. So I play around with the price points. Another one that I'm playing around with is, what about people that are looking for a place 5 months from now? Are they people that plan ahead more? And possibly if they're planning ahead more, then they're not so reactionary and they're better people to work with, because maybe they have more money to play with and they just have more time on their side. Even though it'll take longer for the pipeline, what we found is going out 5 months ahead actually is too far out. It doesn't actually get any calls. The good news is I get so many calls, usually on a given day, that I had what's called statistical significance very quickly. I switched at 7 to 8 o'clock at night. By noon the next day, it had received 1 or 0 calls, which is obviously very unusual based on how many calls I usually get. So it didn't have to run it for a week. I didn't have to run an A/B split test for a week. I knew that I could run that just till like noon the next day, because normally I would have 5 or 8 calls. So I knew that it was just too far out. So I brought it into like January 1st, which is more like 3 or 4 months out. Let's see, October, November. Yeah, it's about 4 months out, I think, 3 to 4 months out. And that actually did pretty decent. It got some phone calls. The calls are definitely down a lot. So we may end up going a couple months out instead of 5 months out. So to get that sweet spot, that's the good thing about A/B split testing. You get the sweet spot on the price point, you get the sweet spot on the duration and the timeline, and then you play around with the headlines, and you might try 10 or 15 different problems in the headlines. Are you tired of where you're renting now? Are you paying too much? Are you tired of throwing money down the drain? You're trying different headlines, different problems, and what you think is the biggest problem, or whatever your gut is, isn't necessarily what it is. There's a demand in the marketplace. You have to A/B split test those, and it's good to have 15 or 20 running all at once, so as a week goes by, you find out what got the most calls. It wouldn't make sense in that particular one to do one week, another one another week, because then you're out 3-4 months before you get those answers. So you want to be able to run them all at the same time. That's not always the case. There's a lot. In most split tests, you only want one variable. So, but you can. It's a multivariate. You can run a couple different variables at once. I can have all those. I'm used to getting all those different calls with a lot of the different questions and the problems, but I can have the one same variable, which is the timeline of 4 or 5 months out or 3 months out. So that part I can keep as a constant and just run that variable against another one the next day. But and then just know what your metrics usually are. So you have the statistical significance that you're used to. A lot of people say it should be 100 hits. A lot of people should say it should be 1,000 hits. That's really hard to say because there's so many different factors. You'll get a gut feel and an intuition for it over time. One thing I will say is you want to get really good at getting traffic on the internet because you want to get that statistical significance to test these A/B split tests and these variables. You want to do process of elimination. You want to get to that point within 4 hours or half a day. You do not want to wait a week or a month on some of these split tests. I know a lot of people talk about that on some different videos. They talk about, I ran a split test for 3 weeks or a month or something like that. They're talking more about refining split tests, A/B split tests. They're talking about the refining ones. I like to spend a lot of time, invest a lot of time on exploration split tests, because there's a lot of paradigm shifts that come with that, and there's so many big ideas of you don't know what you don't know. so that it's very important that you are constantly exploring beyond the capacity of what you're even thinking right now. And because you could be going down one road and refining a split test that you thought worked okay, and you could be refining that for like 3 months. Meanwhile, you should be testing 3 completely other things that win just by default, because they're just better ideas. They're better problems that need to be solved. So it's very important, even when creating a product for product market fit for a company, very important to do a lot of wide exploring, like test it on Facebook, test it on Twitter. I've tested stuff on Twitter. I think Twitter is more of a live audience. Facebook is cool if you figure out how to get the viral part to work really well. Blog, I think, is better for long copy. So these are just different things that you need to split test, and there's a lot of variables going on all at once, so you don't want any false positives, and you don't want to be tracking it the wrong way. So that's all I got for now.
Meet Mike. Mike's stuck growing his service business. Mike's already wasted too much money and time with failed results. Mike has more cash to invest than time to waste. Mike really values his time. Mike knows marketing is an investment and not an expense. Mike's business has a proven LCV, lifetime customer value, between $5,000 to $1 million. Meet Bob. Bob is also stuck growing his service business, but Bob first needs to achieve a better product market fit which is aligned and in high demand with his target audience. Hi, my name is Ron Orr, and I am your solution to being stuck. I can help you refine your positioning in the market. I can help you refine your elevator pitch. I can help you refine your explainer video. I can help you refine your SEO keyword headlines. I'll help you achieve your 10 times growth mindset. We'll focus on measurable results with my proven formulas. 2 times traffic, 2 times leads, 2 times conversions, 2 times retention, 2 times frequency, 2 times traction, 2 times LCV, 2 times ROI. My skill set, which will scale your business, is A/B split tests, growth hacking, SEO, search engine optimization, the build, measure, feedback loop, optimizing big data, data-driven decisions, reverse engineering your LCV with math. Let's grow our ROIs together. What are you waiting for? Contact Ron Orr today, www.ronorr.com. Because your biggest expense isn't marketing, it's opportunity cost. You don't have the time to keep finding out that you don't know what you don't know.